guys, Mecha-san here with a Watch Mojo video here that I know I got to have made a reaction before. At least I don't know here, but certainly the thumbnail was brought up more than once in several of these Watch Mojo videos here, like where the Power Rangers, specifically the In-Space Rangers, meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the next mutation that was going on at the time. Yeah, this is the top 10 TV crossovers that fans couldn't believe actually came true. And we're starting off this video with just this here, where, yeah, we had the episode of Phineas and Ferb where they met the Avengers. Because apparently one of Doofenshmirtz's inventions accidentally went off and, you know, through like a Rube Goldberg effect here, it kind of hit the Avengers and removed their powers. I only know that much. I haven't really seen that episode. I never watched Phineas and Ferb when it was airing. My mistake here, but going back here, yeah, crossovers are becoming more and more mainstream. It used to be something like extraordinarily jaw-dropping event moment here that rarely happened. More happened in comic books. Like, you know, we had a Marvel, of course, meet the DC here with JLA versus the Avengers, stuff like that. Even back then, like way early on, we had like Spider-Man versus Superman or Batman versus Captain America. There was a comic book where the Power Rangers fought the Power Rangers Turbo, fought the Beetleborgs Metallics. But yeah, most of the time here, fanfics was limited to sorry, goddamn. The crossover was limited to fan fictions here. I don't know, but yeah. Although I think there was like a novelization where Star Trek met the X-Men. And even then, it's like they kind of mentioned how much Picard looked like Xavier. This was before the Fox X-Men movies came out, by the way, I believe. So, yeah, but as we move forward and cross-media happens, crossovers are indeed becoming far, far more mainstream here. It's like, you hear some crazy stuff here. We had the Justice League meet the Power Rangers. And we have, of course, you know, the Power Rangers met the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a number of times, actually. And the Ninja Turtles meets the Ghostbusters, which technically they had met before here in like an event comics thing called Infestation for IDW that's running, but I don't know. But yeah, then we had like Ghostbusters meet the Transformers with Starscream's Ghost. Then we've had Transformers meet a whole lot of people. Like they met beforehand, like the Marvel Avengers. Then they also met My Little Pony. Okay, and you know, Back to the Future. Back to the Future, of course. And no, brother. So, I'll keep going here. I mean, right now, speaking of Turtles here, they're having multiple crossovers. Like, right now, they have a crossover with He-Man in the comics. He-Man. But now, of course, companies are seeing this, and they are now throwing the word crossovers in ways that just... No, it's not a crossover at all. Well, we got this crossover event in Helldivers 2 where they cross over with Killzone. And it was just cosmetic, some promotional thing they do. It's no different than what Destiny does when they have special armor ornaments, like sparrows and ships that are themed around certain video game they're doing a collab with. Which, yeah. And now, of course, we had the AC Odyssey meets AC Valhalla crossover. That's not even a crossover. They're still in the same exact world. So yeah, like people are really throwing crossovers to the point where they're just obviously baiting the fans, baiting those nerds that really want to see this happen. But it's not gonna work. Just stop it.
Would you guys read my fan fiction? It's a story where Thor and Hulk decide to learn ice skating.
I'm sorry, but we're not allowed to accept unsolicited material.
Oh God!
Welcome to Watch.
Parrot Platypus!
Today we're counting down our
I'm confused.
crossovers that
Oh, unsolicited material. Okay.
satisfy TV viewers after years of anticipation.
What the Steve Urkel and is that
This
Full
list,
House?
taking a look at TV show collabs that fans theorized would eventually happen due to similar themes, shared universes, or the shows airing on the same network.
Take it! What? The
Powers is-
Green Machine has gone clean! Thanks, Leonardo.
Dream Machine. Yep.
Number 10, The Defenders.
And already this is what I'm seeing here. When they say this is crossover, when it's not. They're set in the same universe, the same world, the same freaking state city. I think the same borough even. Like, what? It's all like these guys are all located in Hell's Kitchen, are they?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe television series. One episode just isn't enough to do this team up justice, so they got a whole series instead. As the culmination of the Marvel Netflix shows, this miniseries took the stars of 4 different shows and put them into one action-packed sucker punch of a season.
Jessica,
Luke,
how you been?
well, I'm sorry.
We have to get out of here.
Who's he?
That's right, Jessica Jones,
Yep.
Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Iron Fist all in one. Since
Yeah, which, I mean, that's not a crossover. You may as well call The Avengers a crossover then.
the characters were already developed, the Defenders hits the ground running with some extraordinary fight scenes and dramatic plot lines. Plus, who doesn't love seeing Sigourney Weaver play a villain?
If we
Yeah.
speed the process, it will not be quiet.
I'm aware.
The excellent cast chemistry and higher stakes meant this mini Avengers team
It also helps that at least 2 of them had interactions before. Like, yeah, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, Luke Cage appeared in her very own TV show here, and they got it on here because Rebound, she was simply a Rebound girl after what happened to Luke Cage, and because there's a whole ordeal.
truly assembled. Number 9, That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana. That's So Raven, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Hannah Montana.
Yep.
Long before
I admit, I watched this. It was still like the golden age. I mean, well, I guess by now it's considered the silver age, but because the 90s were like the golden age of all these cartoon channels like Disney, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, etc., etc. And by the 2000s, you started having the silver age where, they lost some of the luster as they got more of these real life shows. I don't remember Cartoon Real. Like, what the hell are they thinking? At least for Disney, it makes more sense. They've had this before.
the Avengers
yeah,
assembled on the big screen.
this crossover happened.
This was the Disney crossover that had every kid talking.
Put your arms out. Why? Just do it. Of course I'll do it.
The Disney Channel's first live-action crossover.
That's so Raven. 'Tis the future I can see. Jeez. Yeah, and they came back here. I know, like, Raven's home. Like, she moved out, got divorced, got twins, one was psychic, and seasons happened. She moved back to her father's in San Francisco after a medical problem he had. And only the son came along. So what happened to the daughter? Will she stay with her father? And what happened to Raven's brother in the show? Because they acknowledge that he does exist here. I remember the scene when the father hooked up to the machines like that. Raven questioned him, "Was I your favorite child?" It's like, what? Yeah, and the truth machine.
Crossover commenced with That's So Raven, as the titular psychic drops by the Tipton Hotel. She naturally crosses paths with Zack and Cody, who help Raven pull off a photo shoot.
How does it feel to be in America?
No! You may not speak to the boys. They do not speak.
The same English as we speak another form of flesh you do not
What?
Even tries to return the favor in the crossover's second act, although her visions cannot prevent a disastrous surprise party. The
Yep.
crossover ends with Hannah Montana checking into the Tipton, rounding out an awesome ensemble piece with no shortage of laughs and music. The Disney Channel universe continued to expand 3 years later when the Wizards of Waverly
What?
Place wound up on deck with Zach, Cody, and Hannah.
Oh yeah, because the spin-off Sweet Life on Deck. Cool. And I never seen the Wizards of Waverly Place. I never got into that one. I think by that point in time, I kind of got burned out on just the Disney live action stuff. It just was just cartoons.
Number 8, the CSI trilogy. CSI Miami, CSI New York, and CSI Crime Scene.
Even then, like number 9, yeah, I can sort of see that being a proper crossover. I certainly never would have expected that they all take place in the same world. But like Wizards of Waverly Place, and we had Raven with her psychic abilities. Like that takes place in the same world as Hannah Montana and the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I guess in the end, yeah, but that was a surprise. So I can count. But this one here, CSI trilogy. No, I don't. I mean, CSI, I would assume as well, they also take place in the same exact world, so not really a crossover, but more of a meetup. If you want a true crossover, I remember, like, for the kind of shows here, I remember the crossover they did with Bones. You guys know Bones? You know, that forensic show set in DC? Yeah, they had a crossover with the fantasy horror series Sleepy Hollow. That is a crossover that, what the hell?
Investigation.
It'd be very difficult to say without first taking a look at the evidence.
From Las Vegas.
Another set of eyes on it.
I'll be there as soon as I can.
Across 3 shows, 3 cities, and one
Yep.
very nasty homicide, this multi-part case proved nothing is more gripping than a fictional crime scene. Though it aired as one continuous story, the
Which I don't know if it's a CSI show, but which is the forensic show that has that goth woman, that forensic goth woman?
most impressive
character.
aspect of this crossover is how well each show managed to sustain its own unique relationships and conflicts. The distinct visual identity and flashy transitions from each episode are all still intact. It's just that the case doesn't wrap up in tidy fashion like you would expect. Instead of going for bigger, this keeps things intimate by almost solely relying on Lawrence Fishburne to hold the sprawling cold case together.
It's Cowboy Curtis, respect.
Happened.
All you have to do is walk through the door.
As expected, he does it without breaking a sweat. Number 7, Stephanie Gets Framed.
All right, I've seen Family Matters like crazy, but Full House, never. It's like that's the show that every time it's one of those shows that I have to signal that the Saturday morning cartoons are over, something like that here. So when that came on, it's like we started with one of the sisters, like baby, stuff like that. Oh, okay, change channel. Change channel, get out, time to go to the mall.
Full House and Family Matters. Steve Urkel not only stole the show on Family Matters, but also this episode of Full House.
How annoying could one kid be?
Okay, that was delivery. Why did I think they laugh so much? It's fine. Like, how annoying could one kid be? I present to you. God damn it! It got me. That's what I get.
How annoying could one kid be?
Look at it, the way he's frozen there. It's like, I had to ask.
San Francisco for a science fair, an unwelcome Urkel visits the Tanner household. It only takes a couple of minutes of cheese talk until Jesse and Danny decide that they've had enough.
Yeah.
And it's a strut, and it's cool, and it's a strut, and it's cool like that, see?
Very inspiring.
All right.
Shut out the door. Oh, God.
After he teaches Michelle about money matters, Urkel does pass on some insightful advice to Stephanie, who is insecure about her new glasses, which she never wears again anyway.
As good as I look now. See how studlier I become.
The only downside? Why didn't Urkel and Kimmy Gibbler share any scenes? They were totally meant for each other.
Really?
Number 6.
No.
I Done. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Different Strokes, and The Jeffersons.
Yep. Wow. This was a crossover that just what? Because I also watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but TV Land, Nick at Night. So I watched all those shows, most of those shows. I never watched Different Strokes, unfortunately. Never got into that one. But the Jeffersons? We're moving on to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Yeah. And of course, George Jefferson's walk. The way he walks. But yeah, the Jeffersons actually made appearances more than just this episode here. The crossover event.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air not only saw the departure of the Banks family, but also the return of some other beloved TV families.
Champagne!
Yeah, I love champagne. And the mom looks at you, what?
With the Bel-Air mansion up for sale, several familiar faces drop by for the Banks open house in the episode I Done.
Shake a leg! We gotta get rid to that Universal tour and see the backdraft ride.
Oh, then you should probably leave now before the fire goes out.
Oh, believe me, Will, the fire went out a long time ago.
Over 10 years after going off the air, Arnold Jackson and Mr. Drummond from Different Strokes reappear to check out the home and deliver some classic one-liners.
At night, you can hear the wailing of the dead.
That's you.
What you talking about, Will?
And there comes the
Banks residence ultimately goes to George and Louise Jefferson, who are ready to move on up again.
And it all comes down. Yeah.
A couple, the Jeffersons.
Number 5, Crisis.
Yeah. Again, not the first time the Jeffersons appeared on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. There was a period of time, where when Will had an actual girlfriend, a legit girlfriend, could have gotten married, and they went to couple therapy, and the Jeffersons were there. Everything came to that same therapy session. Although, Crisis on Infinite Earth,
on Infinite Earths, Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Batwoman, and more.
I'm conflicted about this one, but...
Talk about a lineup. The CW spent nearly a decade assembling a Justice League of sorts on the small screen, and it paid off with one of the most ambitious crossovers of all time.
2 Supermen!
Holy all-star squadron. Hi, how are you? Ralph Dibny, elongated man, ready to help kick butt.
Ignore him. It's his first crossover.
A staggering...
His first crossover! And I've seen this clip right now.
5 shows joined forces for one
I've seen this clip multiple times here, where...
And they weren't even the only ones. The multiversal story...
I did like that crossover where we had Smallville and everything, and you just picked up the kryptonite and just threw it out. It's that's kryptonite. You had just no effect on me ever since I gave up my powers. You gave up your powers? Can't say I miss these chats. This one, you know what? It was a television show, and they did what... God damn, I'd never seen it, but just from... hearing everything, they accomplish what Hollywood, Warner Bros. In Hollywood, just never could. They did it right. They did what the Avengers did with the MCU for the small screen. It was not perfect, but yeah. So at the very least, honorable mention. Let's just be an honorable mention, or at the very least, a little bit further back down the number.
The storyline allowed cameos from every corner of the DC universe.
Okay. If I remember right from just the Justice League animated series, that robot is actually a power suit, and the father of Stargirl right over here. Nice. I swear, that thing can transform. I look at that thing, it transforms into some sort of car. It's a transformer.
And the scale of the conflict is totally worth the effort.
He sacrificed everything for this new world, and we will not fail him. We will not fail this world.
High stakes action and a truly outstanding roster of characters makes this feel like a comic book in the best way possible.
Damn!
This is more than a love letter to the Arrowverse. It is a celebration of everything DC does best.
Yep.
Number 4.
Yeah, in small scale. Oh,
The Time Ball Saga.
Time Ball?
Sabrina the Teenage
What?
Witch.
Boy
Boy Meets World, You Wish, and Teen Angel.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch had a crossover with Boy Meets World and... Okay, I never heard of the other shows here, like You Wish and Teen Angel. Never heard of them, ever. I mean, Boy Meets World... Yeah, they were like on Disney, weren't they? And I know then they had, years later, the sequel spin-off series, Girl Meets World. But Sabrina the Teenage Witch! Oh god, yes, yes, yes!
For the 97-98 season, ABC was desperate to carry over the success of Sabrina and Boy Meets World to its new TGIF shows.
I don't feel so good. Maybe
Salem?
I should shoot that thing. I'm too full to lick myself, so
Ew.
maybe I should just watch a little TV.
That's how this...
Oh god, that show got so much... got so much better up a notch here when they let Harvey in on the magic and everything like that here, and just him working off Salem. It was so fun. Oh, those two were meant for each other. Like Sabrina and Salem. Did I just say Sabrina and Salem? Oh god, I'm an idiot. Sorry. Sabrina and Harvey. Sabrina and Harvey. They're meant for each other, and I'm glad they got together. God. I remember when Mother Joan Hart was in Clarissa Explains It All on Nickelodeon. Good times. Good times.
This 4-way crossover originated. The story saw Sabrina's black cat swallow a time ball in the first show of the night.
Time ball?
I wonder what it was like during World War II.
And away we go.
And away we go.
Salem ran through the other sitcoms, thrusting them into new and exciting eras.
So it's basically Salem who just dragged... He was the focal point? I can see it.
I'm having a blast. We don't have to go to class. Everyone hates Libby, and except for the fact that a few people smell, this era rocks.
Sabrina
Yeah, all you need to say is everybody hates Libby. Good riddance. You know what? I shouldn't care. Libby was kind of written off the show after, Sabrina went to college, so...
Traveled to the 60s, Boy Meets World went to World War II, You Wish was in the 50s, and Teen Angel ended up dancing disco.
Wanna do the bump?
I think in any decade the answer would be no.
I think the answer would be no, yes.
It's up to you to decide if it succeeded.
Now that the war's over, what are you gonna do about Topanga? I'm gonna pop the question all over again. You got moxie, kid.
Topanga. What kind of a name was Topanga?
Number 3.
Shell Shock, there we
Power
are.
Rangers in Space, and Ninja Turtles, The Next Mutation.
Nowadays,
In the
it's
90s,
like, meh.
The Power Rangers and the TMNT were two of the most marketable kid-friendly franchises.
Even if they did exist, why would we want to destroy them?
Because, as of now, you work for me.
I don't think so.
And these...
Yeah, I like that when they appear like... Venus here, the female, knew Astronema. Like, she recognized the name Astronema, the Queen of Evil? It's like, you know her, and yet you guys thought the Power Rangers were just pretend, make-believe. What? Wait. Yeah, but this was... Nowadays, of course, this kind of crossover would be like... I mean, yeah, sure, the Turtles have met the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers a number of times, like I said. They're meeting He-Man. They've met Batman, which makes a lot of sense, actually. So, but yeah,
martial arts series
back
finally
then,
collided in the 6th season Power
big.
Rangers episode Shell Shocked, where the heroes in a half shell are brainwashed by Astronema and turn evil.
Yep.
You want Rangers? You gotta go through Turtles. Mutants.
Mutants?
You got that right.
As you can
Mutants?
imagine, they come out of it and partner with the Rangers to battle the manipulative Princess of Evil.
What are those things?
It's the
I
teen.
can't believe it, but I think they're...
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You guys know them
Adult
too.
eyes, this crossover might seem bizarre, cheesy, or just dumb. But the 8-year-old and
oh no, yeah, in all the best ways possible. It's like you got to be a fan of the Turtles and the Power Rangers. Even now, as adult kids who were back then here and grew up to be now adults, they look back at this, it's like they think all that, but they still love it. It's like, this actually happened. It wasn't a fever dream. It's like,
all of us cannot help but be sucked in.
Yes.
Seeing two of the defining things from our childhoods kicking ass side
Yes.
by side.
There's something I really would like to do. Just once. Before I go.
yeah,
Name it.
the Astro Gliders. God, they make that so cheesy. It's awesome.
Number 2, the Jetsons meet the Flintstones. The Jetsons and the Flintstones.
Hold still, Dino.
I can't believe I forgot about this one here, but I've seen, even though this has been on a Watch Mojo list multiple times too.
While Hanna-Barbera wasn't the first studio to experiment with crossovers, the 1987 TV movie The Jetsons Meet the Flintstones certainly popularized the concept.
How about that, Fred? I never heard a tin can talk before.
Ooh, careful, don't do that. There we go, Robbie.
It's actually surprising Hanna-Barbera took so long to bring television's definitive prehistoric family and ultimate futuristic family together.
Now, son, I know this is difficult for you.
Heck no, he's doing all the work.
Yeah.
At last, somebody who appreciates me.
Yeah.
Delivered, however, in a blast from the future and the past, made possible by Elroy Jetson's time machine.
Which I believe he ordered on a magazine. If I remember the movie right, like, and everyone thought it was a joke, but then he brought in, like, I guess, Genie from I Dream of Jeannie?
What is it?
It's my time travel machine.
You're right, I don't believe it works.
Then how do you explain this?
Hey, Genie!
This union of cartoon royalty offers a lot of the creative comedic scenarios both shows were known for, as well as loads of heart.
Don't hold food over the Pegasaurus disposal.
Pegasaurus disposal.
Over 30 years later, it is still the crossover to beat all crossovers.
Yep.
We're on our way. We can't wait to get home. So long, George.
Bye, Fred. Barn.
So long, Wilma. Bye, Daddy. See you around, Reno.
Reno.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
What's number 1 here?
You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Okay.
Number 1, The Simpsons Guy, Family Guy, and The Simpsons.
Another one I completely forgot about. Like, totally forgot they had this crossover and had one of the more epic fight scenes.
Intellectual theft! What do you have to say about that, Griffin? Go!
There was so much hype leading up to this Family Guy episode that it's not surprising the initial viewer response was mixed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people complain because even though it was more Family Guy because the writing was more geared to Family Guy with dark humor as opposed to Simpsons. People didn't like I think people complaining about the length because it was like almost an hour long, and even Peter was like tired at that point. He even commented about how the running length. But yeah, like the Simpsons had plenty of crossovers. Other people, like they referenced in this very show, there was a crossover with the Futurama with Bender, which from here he still occasionally makes cameos in certain scenes and seasons of Simpsons here because, he's getting to the future, Back to the Future, the old-fashioned way by waiting it out.
But The Simpsons Guy is really a classic in the making that delivers everything one could want from a Family Guy Simpsons crossover.
Oh my god, that was great!
The Griffins' trip to Springfield provides one great laugh after another, full of awe-inspired
Yeah.
animation and ingenious references.
Yep.
You lived in Springfield? Yeah, I worked at the Quickie Mart, researching a role.
The best
Yep.
part is just seeing these classic characters interact. As Bart raises hell with Stewie, James Woods meets James Woods, and
James Woods,
Homer
yeah,
chicken
exactly.
fights Peter.
Exactly. chicken fight ever.
Oh, and Fred Flintstone calls everybody out as a ripoff.
If you ask me, neither of these beers is wholly original. They're both pale imitations of my favorite beer, Bud Rock.
Bud Rock, yeah, there we go.
Want to see crossover? Let us know.
And
in
oh yeah,
Check
that.
out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to.
I don't watch Bob's Burgers, so yeah, here it is, like awesome crossover of all time. I know I ranked that before.
Be notified about our latest.
Again, some it's like just remembering here. Others I had no idea. I'm still surprised that like Sabrina met Boy Meets World and all the other shows. Like when? And I didn't watch Family Full House, so I never see Steve. I remember in Family Matters they had this quick gag where Uncle Phil came on set, basically. It's like, it was a fun scene. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. And yeah, like the freaking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air crossovers, yeah, were different strokes and the Jeffersons. So far, and the first ones up here are, yeah, like probably the more iconic crossovers, you could say. The one that still to this day, it's like, it holds up as this is how you do a crossover kind of material. Although people would say the Family Guy, Simpsons, yeah, that didn't do a good job balancing out with the humor to a far more Family Guy than the Simpsons, but whatever. Yeah, the Flintstones meet the Jetsons and Power Rangers. Whew. God, it still amazes me to this day that they never did a crossover with the big bad Beetleborgs. Or Beetleborg Metallic here. They did it in the comic books. But never here? It's like they spend all that money just to get the next mutation Turtles. There wasn't a Sentai footage or anything like that. It was like, yeah, the original footage and everything. And they couldn't have done that for the Beetleborgs? Especially with the fact that you consider in space, Power Rangers in space was like supposed to be the final Power Rangers at the time here. Like they were trying to go off with a bang. That it had the effects were terrible because they were on even tighter budget, so they just made sure the writing stuck. Oh God. But yeah, the Defenders, like, really? That's not a crossover. That was gonna happen. I don't know. So once more, Watch Mojo makes a very controversial list. Guys, tell me what you think in the comments down below. Which crossover do you think should have deserved to be on this list here that you couldn't believe actually came true? Tell me in the comments. Like and subscribe for more videos. Till next one, this is Mecha-san, logging out.